Fools like them, they suss me out and then they ghost.
Anything that she does, help me welcome no other but Barrister Obi Aguncha. The boss lady, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And
there's one thing I didn't
for all of us.
I love dancing, but I think this my sister dances more than I do. She's always dancing, never happy. Her vibes is I mean, she has the vibes, everything. Go on.
Okay, good to have all of you in this segment, and I'm happy to be taking this topic, as it were. The power of identity and knowing who you are, knowing the woman in you, knowing the person you are created to be. It is something I'm actually very passionate about, because most of us in our daily lives and daily activities and everything, in the bid to seek validation, we lose the person we are. We lose what we are made of. There are different ways to attain success, but because you want to copy or you want to emulate somebody else, you lose your values, you lose the person you are. Now, my first topic on this, I want to explain in few words what we mean by the power of identity. You understand? I want us to know what, I know everybody knows what identity is, and we all know what power is and stuff like that. It's actually a simple question, yet the answer to it holds immense power over our lives. Having to know who you are, it shapes your action, your beliefs, and the way you move through the world, as in what you do on earth. It can be the very thing holding you back. Your identity can hold you back from attaining success. Your identity can also unlock certain things in life that you wish to attain. Your identity can unlock a certain thing for you to get to your dreams. Your identity, who you are, can also restrict you from achieving your dreams. So it is always good for us to discover ourselves. That is the power. Maintain, be intentional of who God created you to be. Be intentional of your characteristic. Be intentional of what you desire to be and what you desire to achieve. What A desires to achieve is not the same thing as what B desires to achieve. By the time you figure out who you are, you will be able to get to that level that you wish to be. Seeking validation from left and right, waiting for people to applaud you and appreciate you for who you are, will distract you and make you lose focus. Now, for us to have that strong sense of identity is very important, because first and foremost, you have to create self-awareness. A strong sense of identity can give you a deep sense of awareness. I mean, who you are as a person. It can help you understand what you like, what you hate. I mean, your actions, your motivations, and relationships. Knowing your own self can boost your confidence, your zeal, your love, your desires to achieve certain things in life. It provides you with direction. Having a strong sense of identity can give you a clear understanding of your values, your interests, which can help you provide clarity, directions when it comes to setting goals and working towards them. To know yourself, you have to have goals and working towards your goals. If you have goals and don't work towards them, you are diminishing your identity. You're trying to eradicate who you really are. Knowing who you are and knowing your identity can also enable healthy relationship. When you know and accept yourself for who you are, you can form meaningful connections with people who appreciate and respect you for who you are. Identifying yourself, you mingle with people that understands you. You don't go to where you're not celebrated. You don't go to where you're not appreciated. You don't go to where you are not accepted because of your identity. If you have a certain identity or if you have a certain personality, you don't want to robe into a conversation or go into a gathering where you are not accepted. Even if you see yourself in such places, maintain who you are. Don't go less because somebody else is giving you a name or creating a label towards you. Accept who you are and be where you are appreciated. Having that sense of identity keeps you grounded. It keeps you grounded. It gives us the root when things around us feel something like when you are somewhere that you don't feel yourself, feels chaotic or uncertain, because you are grounded, because you know your worth, because you know your value, because you know what you stand for. It keeps us grounded and helps us remember truly what matters at the end of the day. Wherever it is you are, you know your value, you know your worth, you know what you appreciate, you know what you won't take. There are certain people, they will tell you, oh, this lady, oh, she's a no-nonsense person. Because she knows her worth, she knows her value, and she's grounded. You are not a push around. You are not gullible. I cannot have the same personality as my colleague, Emanuela. She has her own self-awareness. I have my own self-awareness. But I wouldn't want somebody that validates her self-awareness to also validate mine. We are all unique in our ways. Identifying getting to know your identity, it improves decision making. It helps you to decide. It helps you to be focused. It helps you to understand yourself well and can help you make choices that are mostly consistent with your values. Knowing who you are could make you decide and stand your ground. Knowing who you are can make you protect your values, your belief, and your long-term goals. You understand? It also gives you that clarity. It reduces confusion, indecision. There are some people you will see in your everyday life. They are unable to decide the way forward. They don't know whether to go left or right. They don't know whether to go down or up. They are always indecisive. They are always confused because they are looking up to other people to validate what they are doing. There's nothing wrong when you have a mentor, when you have friends, when you have families that support and appreciate you. And once in a while, they could give you positive advice that you could work with. Some of us would have something, but we need that push to get to our next level. Now, in that base to create our own identity, you understand, we wouldn't want to your sense of identity can make it more difficult to ground yourself emotionally in times of stress and more confusion when you are trying to navigate major life decisions. If you are somebody that is at times distracted with stress, you have issues. I mean, everybody on earth, we all have our challenges. But our self-awareness helps us to manage stress, to manage our challenges. You don't want to be in a situation whereby you are stressed, and that is the most sensitive time you see yourself being gullible, being pushed around, seeking validation and looking for other people to appreciate what you have done or what you are doing. I want us to look in ourselves, discover your inner self, discover the woman you are. Some of us, we are tagged, oh, she's stubborn, oh, she doesn't listen to anybody, oh, she's this, oh, she's that. Now, sit down and don't take those side talks as a negative influence. Don't take it as something that is going to pull you down or something that is going to affect you negatively. Use it as a positive influence to get to your next level. I will give you one example. From as a girl, child, teenager and stuff, I have always been pointed out to be very stubborn. When I say very stubborn, exceptionally stubborn. From my parents to my siblings to some friends, they will tell you, Obi is stubborn. But I refuse to accept the word stubborn. I used it and I turned it to be, I am strong-willed. I am determined. I am self-focused. I know what I want. So this is something we should tell ourselves all the time. It's because I know what I want. It's because I stood my ground. If you tell me, if I say I want to do this and you say, oh no, do that, and I know I'm going to lose focus if I go towards your direction, I'm probably seeking validation from you, then I will lose my track. So I will maintain what I want to do. We all have different dreams. We know what we want. So focus, be consistent, be intentional. Intentionally focus on what you wish to attain in life and where you are going. Don't be distracted. Going to our second segment where it says understanding self-worth and embracing authenticity. Knowing who you are and accepting who you are. They are two different things. You can know who you are, but you rather choose a fake life and live, you try to emulate somebody else and live somebody else's life. And you know it is not yours. That is where you see people saying somebody is living a fake life. Fake life means you have not accepted your authenticity. You are not authentic. If somebody says, oh, she's this, she's that, she's this, I will give a little example on that. I mean, authenticity is actually portraying, exuding genuineness and the real person you are. Be real to yourself. Who are you? I cannot be A, and when I go into the world, I am B. No, if I'm A inside my bedroom, I am A outside my bedroom. I am A in my office. I am A in a gathering. I am A in the function. In my life entirely, my hub is letter A. I don't want to copy B. I don't want to copy C because I will lose my authenticity. I will lose the genuine me. You are a woman. You have your substance. Why do you want to lose it because of fake life? Why do you want to lose it because you want to belong to a position you cannot maintain for too long? And once you lose your authenticity, you start losing focus. You start losing certain things that you have planned for yourself, your dream, your achievables, your choices. You start losing them. Understand, one thing I always tell people is that you understand you are not perfect. Nobody is perfect. You cannot always get it 100%. So to be true to yourself, you have to embrace your imperfections and recognize that there are parts of what makes you unique. You are different. Celebrate yourself. Know who you are and know that you are unique. Trying to strive for authenticity rather than perfection. Try to be yourself rather than working to be perfect. No, just be the better. Just be the better part of you. Do not work to be perfect. If you are working to be perfect, then you'll be stealing fake lives into that perfection. That means you are falling out of who you really are. You align with whom you are. Your confidence naturally improves. When you accept who you are, your confidence naturally improves. You don't care what people say. You don't want to. You can take, yes, it's okay to take corrections, especially when you know you're drifting. It's okay to take corrections. There are people that are like you. That is why at times they will tell you to click with people that think like you, that have a lifestyle like you, that reason like you. Work with them. They might be your mentors. They might be anything. They might be who you want to be, and you notice you enjoy whatever that makes you happy. Okay? Living authentically involves embracing and expressing our true selves, not the version of ourselves that society expects or accepts. If you want to live your true self, be yourself. Don't live a life to please the society. Don't live a life for people to say, oh yeah, she's a good girl. No. At times, words will be thrown at you. At times, people will undermine you. At times, people will look down on you. At times, people will castigate you for who you really are. My dear, the best thing is to stand your ground, be you regardless, because being you keeps you sane and makes you happy. You sleep well when you wallow in your own authenticity. You sleep well. You are more confident. If nobody likes who you are, it's their business, not yours, because you're created to be unique. I tell women this a lot because we are more sort of emotional. Things get to us and we want to quench that shiny desire we have in us. Now, coming to that self-worth. Self-worth is actually an internal sense of self-value. Okay? When we're talking about know your self-worth, blah, 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 it's actually knowing your value. What are you made of? What Joanne is made of is not what Blessing is made of. We are different. Okay? I always tell people the road to success, we have like millions of roads to success. It is not one. That I did a particular thing to be successful doesn't mean you will do the same. You will tow through my line to be successful. We all are unique. Make sure you are focused and going straight to what you dream and desire. Now, looking at my time, I'll just try to take it faster. Now, if you want to be true to yourself, at times you see that some people will tell you, oh, that my self-esteem has been puked. Oh, I was told this, I was told this. And we wallow so much in assumptions. For you to know who you are, you have to be sure that you're not living a life that is assumed or a life that you assumed by yourself. Everything that passes or everything you wish, you assume. You don't have your fact findings. You keep on growing into assuming that this is this is that, this is this, oh, this person is this, oh, this person is better than me, oh, never you feel anybody is better than you. That is one thing by getting your self-value. Don't you ever feel anybody is better than you. We all have our timings. We all have our track. We all have our distance of what to achieve and when to achieve. Self-esteem is what we think and feel and believe about ourselves. What you think and believe about ourselves. Self-worth is recognizing that I am greater than all those things. Whatever you think of yourself or whatever that has been induced in you to feel about yourself, your self-worth should talk to yourself that you are greater than those things. It is a deep knowing that I am of value, that I am lovable, necessary to this life, and incomprehensibly worth it. Like you make life different. You bring something to the table. You always hear this thing about, oh, what do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? You as a human being, you worth values of plenty on that table. Let nobody talk you down on what you bring to the table. We all have gifts. We all have talent. We all have something we are passionate about. It's just for us to believe in ourselves. The first thing and the first line of success is for you to believe in yourself. Believe you can achieve it. Don't allow anybody criticize you into not achieving your dreams. If you can talk to yourself and be who you are and care less about who is throwing negativity towards you, you will be a better version of yourself and you will be a better person as a woman. Going to our third segment on my topic. Now we have this thing of overcoming societal labels and limiting beliefs. Let me throw the difference between these two things. Societal labels are words. I mean, this, you know what societal labels like? What people think you are, what people see you as, what others see you as. Practically is used to categorize people, activities, or things. Those labels can be based on your character, maybe right from childhood. Maybe you cry a lot, maybe they tag you, cry, or you are always eating, or you eat a lot. You know, there's this thing that's around you, even from your family, maybe your siblings, your mom, your dad, they would give you one particular name like that. And you adapt to it, you accept it. Okay, that is part of like society giving you a label. Your race, some at times, like some the white gender, the blacks, the whites will be like, oh, she's dark, oh, she's this, she's that. Okay, that is actually a general label that at times comes as a trauma to us as we grow up. Then the word limiting your belief is actually a state of mind, as in depends on who the person is. It's actually a state of mind that you believe about yourself that restricts you in some ways, you know. Oh, I believe I can never make it. You know, people, they will always think, oh, am I going to achieve this thing? Hey, will I ever make money in my life? Hey, will I ever get married? Those are limiting beliefs. That is you limiting yourself, restricting yourself. Nobody's restricting you. You are restricting yourself. Oh, I want to be a dancer. Will I ever make it? Oh, I want to be a banker. Will I ever make it? I want to be an IT. Oh, will I ever make it? You understand? These beliefs often are false assumptions, accusations you make about yourself. And it also, honestly, it can cause you negative results. Once you restrict yourself and once you believe you cannot, once you say you are useless, it's going to affect you in your life. It's going to affect you chasing your dream. I have seen people that come up to me and like, oh, I have this project, I want to do this, I want to do this, but I don't think I can achieve it. Somebody, oh, my mother said I will never, that I'm too lazy. Oh, somebody else said, oh, I can never do this, I'm this. You listen to people and you listen to your inner restrictions of stopping you to make a move. That is the first sign of limiting yourself to achieve who you really want to be in life. If you can if you can eliminate that from your system, if you can see yourself as an achiever, if you can see yourself as somebody that can make it in life, You keep on pushing yourself to get that. Everyone has experienced limiting belief. Yeah, once in a while, people can experience limiting belief. But learning how to identify them can help you proactively. It can really help you proactively prevent these beliefs from limiting you. To also discover your limiting beliefs, think about the things you would like to achieve. There are things you would like to achieve, but because of fear of failure, please, my dear women, in case if there's a man here with us, even both man and women, please do not wallow in fear. Whatever you can achieve, everybody that you see today that is successful, the millionaires, the awardees, the people that are up there, they have failed several times. They have failed several times. You probably might not know the negative part of the story, but I am telling you to use myself as a witness. I have failed more than I have succeeded. If I have succeeded 10 times, I have failed 30 times. Believe it, I'm telling you. So for you to fail, it's a no-brainer. Okay? It's a no-brainer. Failures happen to everybody. Nobody will come to tell you that everything I've done in life is successful. That person is not telling you the truth. We all have experienced one downfall or the other. But the ability to stand up, pick from where you have failed to the next level. Just know that one failure is one wisdom attached to your feather. For whatever that made you fail today, that same pattern, if you are focused, that same pattern shouldn't be a repeat. So, coming to like things that you would say within yourself that, oh, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough time, I'm too old to be a manager. You will see people that will tell you, oh, I'm too old to start a business, I'm too old to be a manager, I'm too old to go to school, I'm too old to do this, I'm too old to do that. You are already killing yourself. Don't come and say, oh, it's my village people doing this. Don't blame nobody, especially when you have this blame game. A lot of us that tend to withdraw. A lot of us that tend to withdraw. Can you people hear me? Hello?
You have to remove that person out of.
Okay. A lot of us that tend to believe that we are being limited, we are being restricted, and we can't make it to our next level. Everything in life, all achievables in life, is actually in our hands. And we can help ourselves to be what we really are. Nobody has the opportunity, nobody has the right to tell you otherwise. Okay? Limiting your beliefs can prevent you from taking risk. A lot of people will tell you, I know people that they have never taken risk. They don't even want to try. They are okay in their comfort zone. If you don't take risk, know that you will not grow. That is as simple as that. Even if you are venturing into a business tomorrow and they tell you, oh, you want to start importing tomatoes, or you want to start importing yam, or you want to start doing this, you have to give out a first step. For everybody that has made it in life, all of them took a risk. All of them believed in themselves to try to do something new. And that is how they got their success. Now, you can now create, okay, some of us will have these negative emotions like anxiety, imposter syndrome, procrastinations. Hey, I have seen a lot of people, they can move, they can postpone, they can, oh, I won't do it in 2025, I will do it in 2007, or 2027. I think I'm not ready now, I'll be ready in 5 years. You keep pushing, you keep shifting your gift, you keep procrastinating, you keep limiting yourself. Don't blame anybody. You see, when somebody is talking to you and say, oh, I blame my mom, she didn't tell me, oh, she didn't do this, oh, I blame my dad, she didn't do this, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. You as an adult, what have you helped yourself? What have you done to be that woman you desire to be? What have you done to be that woman you want your friend or your sister or your daughter to be? What have you been? What have you done for yourself? How have you helped yourself inwardly? For us to overcome all these limit beliefs, for us to overcome all this societal labeling and everything, we have to sort of get clarity in what you see as assumption or in what you see as facts. You have clarity in whatever you do in life. Get your clarity. Observe your words, action, and body language. Identify your patterns. Very, very important. Identify your patterns. Like when you're in everything you do in life, in your daily activities, in your life endeavors, identify certain patterns that make you fail. Keep records of a particular pattern that makes you fail. Notice that when the last time you failed, what happened? Okay, the last time you failed, what happened? Make sure you drop that pattern. Make sure you don't carry over that pattern. Okay, try to be open-minded and don't conform to any tightly label or somebody is calling you this or somebody is saying that. And have you ever, I'm sure some of us have experienced this, you will hear something about yourself and you will go to the mirror and look at yourself and like, is there any other Obi somewhere that is answering my name that did this that people are talking about? There are certain things you will hear about yourself. Maybe people are trying to castigate you or people are trying to say something very negative about you and probably it affected you. It's not like it affected you in a bad way, but I know people that have heard of something about them and they will come out crying. It's not true. I didn't do this. It's a lie, you know. It breaks you. It makes you to limit yourself. You don't want to come out again because people have already tagged you to be an error. You will cry. You will want to kill yourself. You become suicidal and stuff like that. But let me tell you something. It is your truth that matters. And if you have experienced it over time, the truth will always come out to the same people that said ill about you. So that is why you don't allow your limitations to cause your breakdown. Okay? Now, instead of using those labels or limitations or restrictions to go down or withdraw in certain things you want to do, use it as a positive. Use it positively to grow yourself. Use it. I have been, just like I said before, I've been tagged very stubborn. I don't listen. I don't do this. I don't do that. But I have used those negative and societal labels and everything it is part of my success story today. It is part of my success story today. So all those stones that are thrown at you, use it to your own betterment. Okay? Anytime you feel limited, anytime you feel you are not good enough, anytime you feel as a woman, because of the stereotypes, because of the label, or the men are this, the women are that, this or that. I have done certain things in life and people are like, this is for, why you, at times they will tell me, why are you so ambitious? You want to be bigger than a man, you want to be bigger. I said, if there's anything that is bigger than a man, I want to be that. So if it's going to give you headache, start now and start buying a lot of pain relief because this headache is going to last for a very long time. Don't be moved by what people say, especially if it's going to affect your dream, especially it's going to affect your desire to be where you want to be. Don't be moved by what people say. People can say a lot. And at times, when somebody is trying to make you feel less of yourself, it's just to the gain of the person. The person wants to, some of our terms, they will say they want to use you and shine. They want to use you to shine. They want to, whenever you hear something that is not true about yourself, if you can comport yourself, be strong, don't let it break you. And don't allow whoever that said what or whoever that is trying to downgrade you know that you are going through that. That is a distraction to yourself. Anything that's going to distract you on your way up, ignore it and keep on moving. Do not give up in whatever. If it's going to take you 10 times to succeed, go 15 times. If it's going to take you 20 times to succeed, don't break down on the 20th time. Go to 25, go to 30. If you're doing one thing and this thing is taking a lot of your time, move to another thing. If anything is going to happen, if a particular crowd or some of your friends, or you have some friends or families that are always castigating you, that are always looking down on you or putting you down, please go to people that love you. Go and mingle with people that you know that genuinely love you. Mix with same people that think like you. If you see somebody that is in a career that you want to be, if you see somebody that is in the same business you want to be friends with that person. To promote your self-value, to promote your self-worth, to promote all that you desire in life, you have to mingle with the same people that are in the line of your desires. If you don't welcome people in your hub that will push you to the next level, then you will maintain a sort of stagnation. You're not going to have confidence in yourself. You're not going to trust your beliefs. You're not going to trust in anything you want to put your hand into. You want to do business, you start thinking. You've already started thinking of the downfall of the business. Oh, I want to start selling this. Oh, what if I don't? They eat my money. I don't want to do it again. And you disconnect. Meanwhile, that is the business that is going to give you your breakthrough. Everybody has failed. Everybody in their lifetime has failed. But if you miss intentionality in your corridor, in your step to success, if you delete intentionality, you will not get to where you desire to be. You have to be intentional in everything you do. Even if you're sad and you're crying and a lot of negativity has been hit at you and you're crying, stand up, clean your tears, and be intentional to get to the next level. Now, getting to the next segment of my topic, defining my own terms, defining success in my own terms. Regardless the social expectations and validations. Okay, relatively, I would say success in my own terms. How do I put it now? I will actually say success is if you achieve what you want and you are happy. Success to me, and how I feel everybody should see success, is if you achieve what you really want, your passion, if you are able to attain your desired dream, and you are happy in that achievable, then I think that is success. It could be applied to life in general or to individual tasks in life. You can say, in another sort of, I can say another definition is that like, success is achieving personal goals whatever your goals is, if you achieve it, success. And when you say success is not all about money. Success can be your career. Success can be a portfolio. Success can be making a difference in the society. Success can be helping people to get to their destination. Success can be being a mentor to your proteges. Success can come in different ways, because success can be getting married to the man of your dreams. Success can be having kids that are making you proud. So success is not just about cash, okay? But it's also about certain dreams you desire and you wish. When you show up authentically and meaningfully, like when you come out in your own lifestyle, when you are living a life that you desire, you will find that true success is not only attainable, but it is also deeply rewarding. You can attain success. You are happy in that success. You are rewarded. You are rewarded in your success. Show up in any way meaningful. Make a difference to any other person, your neighbor, your subordinates, your bosses. Make a difference in any organization. Make an impact wherever you are. Make sure you are positively inclined, making an impact. Don't allow here or naysayers tell you otherwise. I have heard a lot of things, as in people see me today and say, oh, Boss Lady Lo, I want to be like you. I want to be like you. If I tell you my story, you will ask me if I was created differently. You understand? You ask me if I was created differently. I have been in a lot of mess that would have broken me. But I stood up my grounds and said, I will make my creator proud, regardless what anybody feels. You can call me any type of name. You can think I'm this, I'm that. What I want to do is to shut you up with my success. That is my focus. I am not interested to defend anything. Whatever you feel or whatever you think about me or whatever you think about this person, it is your headache, it's your business. My focus is to better the society. My focus is to be the best of me tomorrow. My focus is to be intentionally wallowing in my positivity. My focus is, I am focused in a lot of things. I am too focused to be distracted. I won't even give you the audience to distract me. So I want us to envelop ourselves in things that we desire. Envelop yourself in confidence. Envelop yourself. You can be a change to the world. Because restricting yourself, a lot of people that depend on you and look up to you will suffer. We all have proteges. We all have people that look up to us. If you can walk confidently, be who you are, attain that dream that you desire, don't worry about limited opportunities. Don't worry about it's a man's world. Don't worry about that. Maintain your focus and go to where you know you will be blessed, and follow people that will help you climb your ladder. Disconnect yourself from negativity and intentionally set yourself to standards that you wake up every morning to meet. Don't engulf yourself in meaningless gossips. Don't go to sit down where they are talking down on another person and you're sitting down there. Stand up there and walk out. There are too many positive influence outside. Please find them, figure them out, join them, and rediscover yourself. If you have derailed already, come back to your senses and rediscover yourself, and you will see that you'll be a happier, and better person. Thank you for having me. I don't want to take every other person's time. And I can take whatever questions you have at the end of this segment. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Wow, wow. Let's give some love. Let's give some love to the boss lady. Honestly, boss lady, while you were talking, a lot of messages I kept reading. You're talking to me, you are making sense. You're a lot of it was so engaging. You can see a lot of love going on. People are really, it's a topic people really need to hear. And I appreciate, I know it's something you're passionate about, and I couldn't have thought of any other best topic, because you are one person I know, at least to an extent, I know when you were one of your down moments. We all have a lot of down moments, like you said. Success comes from a lot of failures. And show me anyone who has never failed, and I'm going to show you somebody who has not attempted anything. And show me somebody who is successful, I'm going to show you somebody who has passed through many failures. And that is why one of my slogan is that failure is the ladder to success. You can't talk about success without failure. If you want to be successful, you must first of all be ready for failure, because trust me, you're going to fail. Nobody comes this far without failing. So we love you. Thank you so much. There's a lot of, says the one that got me. A lot of people are writing. I can't even read. So many, there's a lot of reactions here. But if you want to say one or two things, just 2 seconds, right? You can unmute yourself and just say one word or two words. I say, okay, thank you, Ma, for this amazing teaching. A lot of write-up on the screen. So, boss lady.
Fools like them, they suss me out and then they ghost.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Welcome, Mama. Good to have you here.
Oh, Esther, nice to meet you.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you,
You're welcome,
everybody.
Good to have you.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here and share my story with you, which is something I never thought I'd say, if I'm honest. But here we go. So, yes, as much as I have done some incredible things in my life, and I have a smile that I love to hide behind. So
Somebody's this thing is on. Please, can you mute Esther Elijah? Can you mute yourself? Okay, sorry.
thank you.
Go on. Yeah.
Oh, you're all good. So what people don't know about me is that I hid for a long time underneath my smile, and I was completely shut down, hiding from the pain of my past. And I'm speaking to you now, but I had to fight real hard to find my voice. You see, in 2010, I was the victim of a sexual assault that I just did not see coming. I put my head on my pillow like I did every other night. Only I was woken up with my heart pounding, and I was aroused, but that arousal made absolutely no sense, and it didn't match the fear that ran through my veins, and my head could not make sense of it. And then I turned around, and behind me was my friend, and I was meant to be safe with him, only I wasn't. And I just asked, "What are you doing?" And he stopped. And I reached down and I pulled my pajama bottoms back up from around my ankle. And then in that moment, I shut down. And over the next few days, I only remember them in fragments, but I lost my voice under the shame and the blame that I put on myself, because this had to have been my fault. And for a long time, I believed that to be true. But that story, even though it still hurts, it doesn't get to define who I am anymore. And so what I want to do today is share 3 things with you that have helped over the past few years pull me back up and got me to be here to actually speak, because I never thought I'd speak up. But I'm here with you now. And that first one, the first thing I had to do, and it was the hardest thing I've had to do, and that is to accept that it happened. Because for a long time, years, I denied that it happened. I denied that it had any effect whatsoever on me. I even went back to being friends with him because it was easier than dealing with the shame and the blame. And I abandoned myself completely. And I became more and more numb. Because the more I denied that it had happened, the more I denied that it had any effect, the more I denied to acknowledge the pain that was so desperate to be shared, the more I lost every sense of who I was. I had no idea who I was. And I remember I was standing in a room full of my friends, and I remember hearing myself laugh. And on the inside, I was hollow. And all I could think was, this cannot be who I am. I had completely disassociated from the pain to the point that I felt nothing. And I desperately wanted that life we see on TV, which is full of love and it's full of laughter. But I couldn't let myself have it because I didn't deserve it. And so what I realized is I gave my worth and my voice to someone else because of someone else's actions. And we all have to accept that sometimes in life, it happens in the ugliest ways, and we find ourselves in overwhelming circumstances that we never saw coming. And when we do, we end up losing ourselves. We give away our voice. And like me, we can kind of shut down, we shut off, and we wonder, what was it I did wrong? What was it that I could have done differently to change this? For me, it was sexual assault. But what was it for you? What made you shut down? What made you hide your voice? Because everyone has something. But it wasn't until I learned to accept that it happened, that it had an impact on me, and I acknowledged every single part of that pain, that my smile actually began to feel real. And for me, acceptance is so powerful. And the second thing, once I accepted, for me, I realized I needed to press charges. And I'll be honest, I did not think it would go to court, because only 1.6% of reported cases in the UK make it to court. So I just didn't think I would be one of the ones that got called up. But I was. And when I received that notification, the only thing I saw was that witness stand looming in front of me. And I was going to have to face him. I didn't know how to do it. I did not know how to speak up. I didn't know how to do any of it. And I put a smile on my face and I told my friends I was fine and I was strong. But I was not. I was flailing. And then 6 months before the case, I came across a speaking course. And speaking scared the life out of me. I did not want to do it, but I knew I had to. I had to find my voice, and I couldn't do it on my own. So I signed up. And what that course taught me was not only how to speak up, but it taught me how to find the silver lining. And I learned how to take ownership of my voice, not just speak up, but to own who I am. So the second thing you have to do, you have to find your voice and know that whatever's happened in your life, it is your right to speak up. It is your right to own your voice, because that is your power and no one else is coming to save you. You are the one that gets to do that for yourself. Because trust me, you do not want to be like me and take decades to find your voice and just all the while hoping because someone else is going to come and save you, because they can't. That's you. So second, find your voice. So I would tell you, only you know you. So take the step that you know you need to take to the thing that you know you need to do. And if it scares you, good. It should, because that's the thing that's going to help you find your power. That's the thing that's going to help you find your joy, your passion, your purpose. Sometimes we all have to make that step, however scared we are. And number 3, the biggest takeaway I found on this journey, and it was mentioned in the last chat as well, and that is another person's opinion of you is none of your business. And I'm going to take you on a little journey, and it will all make sense at the end. But for me, when it comes to convictions, 41% of that 1.6% of cases that make it to trial are convicted. So not only did I have to find my voice, not only did I have to face him, I had to face a statistic that is based on what other people believe. And even though I say their opinion doesn't matter, in that court, their opinion was everything. I had a judge to my right. There were 12 jurors in front of me. And their opinion mattered. I had to convince them. And it didn't go the way I hoped. It was one of the most traumatic things I have ever had to go through. Worse than what he did. Because this was a prolonged attack on my character, on my choices, and on me. And after hours of testimony, my worst fear was realized when I was called a liar in the very place I thought was going to protect me. And so, yeah, I found my voice. And I also had to accept that this crap happened not just once, because you cannot unpack one without the other. This crap had happened to me since I was 13. At 13 years old, I was thrown into a wall and held by my throat because I had the audacity to fight back after a boy in my class groped me. And back in time, I got into drama school and I was so excited. And then one day, my drama teacher woke me up with his hand underneath my nightshirt, rubbing circles on my back, as he said, "When you're ready, we're going to go to the park and rehearse some romance scenes." But on my good girl smile, I agreed. And when he left that room, I packed my bags, went downstairs. Mum, I need you to pick me up. Because everything in my body told me I would not be safe if I stayed. The girl after me was not so lucky. But I never said a word to my family about any of these incidents. Barely anyone knew any of this had happened to me because I was so scared about what other people would think about me. I was so afraid of the shame and blame that I thought they would put onto me. So I stayed silent for the majority of my life. And after the court case, when I was told not guilty, it could have broken me. And for a moment, yeah, it did. But then I realized in the grand scheme of my life, I had to make peace with that outcome. I knew going in the stats were against me. So that verdict, in a way, it gave me clarity about what I had to do next. It gave me purpose and passion, and it gave me the power to stand here today and be with you and speak about what's happened to me and how I got away from it. So I'll tell you again, other people's opinions of you are not your business. They don't define you unless you let them. And if you want to find your peace, if you want to find your joy, if you want to find out who you are, regardless of anything that anybody thinks about you, then do not worry about what they say, because they do not know you. They have no idea what you've had to do just to survive. So I'll ask you, who do you say you are? Because I don't care what they say. I care about what you say about yourself. And all of those experiences that I went through, I honestly believe they would impact my life and my being forever. And for a long time they did, because I let them. And that was a hard thing to admit. But since I found my voice, I discovered my purpose, and these experiences have taken me in a direction I never even considered. It turns out I do have a voice, and I do have a story that people need to hear, and it's helped me create. It's helped me create articles. It's helped me create a foundation that I call Changing Currents, because I want to ensure that people are not scared to speak up. I want to just create change in the world and in people's lives. I want to open a dialogue about sexual assault that involves men and women, because it is not a woman's problem. It is a human problem, and we do not solve it unless we work together and unless we take away the taboo that is surrounding it. So I'll ask you again, who do you say you are? I'll start us off. I'm Esther, and I am who I say I am. And I get to create the dream life because I exist, and that is it. So who do you say you are? And what do you want to create with your life? Thank you very much, everybody, for having me.
Let's give some love. Oh my God. Honestly, I was almost shedding tears with you too. You know, just like you rightly said, it's a human problem and not a
That was so touching.
Yeah.
Esther, thank you. That was so touching.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for the courage to share this.
Thank you.
Okay, more people are talking. Speak up, please. Just when you speak up, you give chance for another person. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing. I can relate, The worst pain so far for me is the pain of rape. If you've been there, you'll understand how it feels. and the trauma that comes with it. But as well, God will see us through. Thanks for sharing.
No
Thank you
problem.
so much, Esther. Thank you. So that's the truth. Not just the trauma, then the stigmatization, especially for those of us from Africa. In fact, they will even tell you that it's your fault. Just like you rightly said, before you went to, as you entered the courtroom, you could see like guilty, guilty. You are the one guilty, though the victim at the same time, the one that is guilty. That is how society has made it. So thank you for sharing. And I want to use this opportunity to also reach out to talk to our ladies. Please, we need to watch out and look out for our girls, our girl daughters, our girls, our daughters. Very important. Because the truth is, most times they go through a lot, but because we don't have this rapport or closeness with them, they're not able to like share it or say it out. So the die in silence, and some of them even go as far as committing suicide. Rape is a suicidal stuff. Honestly, if you are not strong enough to like heal yourself from it, you may end up committing suicide. So we need to really watch out for our daughters, especially when they have so-called teachers, trainers. This is where they get abused. My own daughter almost passed through, but not really, I won't say not almost, but a teacher that is supposed to be teaching her, instead of teaching her, was rather writing her love letters. A young girl of about 14, she was 14 then, going to 15, you know. And I'm like, what is the world turning into? So I can understand. Thank you so much for sharing. And 3 takeaways, even though I'll still come back to this. He said, number 1, when whatever it is, hers might be a case of rape. For you, it might be something else. It might be constant abuse by your partner, by your supposed spouse. I remember one lady, Osinachi of blessed memory, one of the leading gospel music artists that we had in Nigeria. She died. Why? Because she was passing through abuse and couldn't say anything to anybody because of that stigmatization of, is she's you know, because people always see you from the outside and feel everything should be perfect with you. And because of that, just like the first speaker said, you just want to, you lose your authentic self because you're trying to live up to what people want you to look like. Oh, she's a woman of God. For that, she should take in all shit. Oh, she's this, she's that. Oh, as a Christian, as this. I mean, and people are there dying every day because of things like this. So one, when it happens, you said acceptance. Accept that it has happened. Thank you for that powerful point. Acceptance. Because if you don't accept yourself, oh my God, in fact, that's the first point of healing. You must accept yourself. And that also takes us back to the first speaker, which talked about identity, awareness. When you identify yourself, you accept yourself, you identify yourself, and so on. And then the second point to mention, he said, you then find your voice, meaning speak up. Speak up. Don't die in that silence. Please speak up. Speak up. Speak up. If you want to climb to the mountaintop, shout it out. Speak up. Else you're going to die. And when you die, the story will be in loving memory, but you are gone. Speak up. Because one, speaking up has a way of healing too. It's a powerful tool to heal. When you speak up, you feel like a burden has been let down. Then finally, she said, other people's opinion of you is none of your business. I love that. Just like my dear sister said when she gave the first talk, people's opinion of you, the most important thing is know yourself, know who you are. That is the most important thing. There's one thing I used to say. I say, I grew up, or I would say I became matured the day I stopped listening to what people would say. I do the things I want to do, provided I find peace and comfort and happiness in what I'm doing. I don't need validation from anybody. That was the day I grew up. The day I told myself, no more listening to nobody. I'm not going to listen to anybody. I'm not going to do anything because of people's expectation of me. No. I want to do this thing because in my spirit, I am convinced that this is what, it might not be okay in the society. It might not be right in the eyes of the society. But what matters here, I am the figure here. I am the equation here. I am the X factor here. Okay, so thank you once again.
Fools like them, they suss me out and then they ghost.
You're welcome.
Hello,
You're
everyone.
welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Good to have you. You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I want to thank you, Living Without Borders, for having me here as well. And it is an honor to be amongst everyone here. It's an honor to be here. So God bless you for having me. And as she said, you know, I am basically my segment, let's start there, is on leadership. Okay, so with leadership, before I get started with my story, I would like to ask some of you, if you believe you are a leader or if you know you are a leader, if you could raise your digital hand for me, or if your cameras are on, just put your hand up so I can see if you know you are a leader. I see you, Cynthia. All right. Anyone else? Okay, Happiness, I see you. Anyone else who knows that you are a leader? Esther, thank you. Is there anyone else? Okay. So, all right. How do I pronounce your name? Muna Lisa Edison? I see you as a leader. So what I wanted to do, I'm going to start my timer here so I make sure I don't run over time. What I wanted to do is ask maybe two of you who have raised your hand, if you can tell me what makes you a leader. And if we can keep the answers brief, it would be beautiful. So if you would like to unmute yourself, I just need two people. Anyone? Okay. So no one's interested in sharing?
I can do it if you want.
Okay, who is that? Esther? Okay,
Esther.
thank you.
So what is
Thank
it you'd
you.
like?
I'd like to know what makes you a leader. What do you believe makes you a leader?
Because of
Oh, no,
kind of, can you hear me?
yeah, I can now. Can you
Yeah.
repeat that, please?
Because I'm not afraid to use my voice and stand up for people who can't use theirs.
Awesome. That's good. Thank you. One more person for me. I see a couple of people in the chat. What about Faith? Faith, are you present, and can you unmute yourself and tell me what makes you a leader, please?
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. We can hear you now. What makes you a leader, Faith?
Because I stand to be an advocate to my community and to people around me. I advocate on their behalf and I care for their well-being.
Oh, okay, so it's a little difficult. Did anybody understand what Faith said? It's a little difficult for me to hear. She's kind of breaking in and out. Faith, can you type it in the chat for me? What makes you a leader?
Okay. All right, let me type it on the chat.
Okay, so we're just going to give her a second to see if what she says. All right, so what I want to do, because we are time consumed here, I want to go ahead and move forward. So there are some people who do believe that they're leaders. And then I noticed not everyone raised their hand about being a leader, and that's fine and that's okay. But I just wanted to see how many leaders I have out there. And my segment, once again, is on leadership. So I wanted to start it by saying, yes, I do consider myself a leader. I have done many things that justify, if you will, my leadership. I've been an on-air radio personality. I've also done 40 years of hip hop as a lyricist, and I'm known in my city and state as a legend, a pioneer out here in Denver, Colorado. I've taught students and high school students, how to express themselves and get past their wounds and their pains through creative expression. And also, as mentioned, I have my own private practice. I'm a spiritual counselor, a Reiki master healer, and a meditation instructor. But what people don't know about me is that I've never really considered myself as a leader. And I've always been afraid to be that leader. Okay, so even though I've shown up and I've done different things, I've been afraid to allow my light to shine. I've been hiding behind the very things that people would say make me leaders. So makes me a leader. So I wanted to say that leadership is not based off of your titles, right? So many people say they're a leader because they have a master's degree in this, or they have a degree in that, or their title, CEO or entrepreneur, whatever it is, that's what they believe makes them a leader. And in some situations that could be true. They can still be leaders, but they are claiming to be leaders because of titles. I claim myself finally to be a leader because my life is a pure example of what leadership is. Okay. So as I said, a lot of people don't know, I've been afraid of my leadership. So I do need to tell this story, but when I was 8 years old, I witnessed something that changed my life. And what I saw was domestic violence. My mother married when I was about 8 years old, an abuser. And the incident that stuck with me is the first time I've seen this abuser put his hands on my mother. Now, what happened is we literally were attending a community function that was centered around domestic violence. And again, I was just 8 years old, so I'm there. It was a small event, very intimate. And he attended the event with my mother. And he got a lot of praise for that because he was the only man there. And as the women, circled, we watched a video and the women circled and they talked about domestic violence. Some of them may have experienced it. Some of them may have had knowledge about it. But I do remember my mother speaking up. And at the time she spoke up, she was going through domestic violence. Again, I had never seen it. I had only heard it. I would see the after effects of the domestic violence. So this particular day, my mother spoke up in this meeting. And as we were leaving the meeting, I got in the back seat of the car. And I just remember her sitting in the driver's seat, beginning to stick the keys into the ignition. And her abuser slammed her head against the steering wheel. And that was my first time witnessing the abuse. Eye to eye, face to face, if you will, seeing it visually. And all I could do as a child was be overcame with fear. I was afraid. I shrunk down in the back seat of that car in that fetal position that everyone talks about. I literally got into a fetal position watching this man beat my mom in front of me. And I could hear what he was saying to her. And it was because he was upset that she spoke about something in this meeting. And so while he's calling her names and he's saying, you don't run your mouth and you don't do this, this, and that, I'm just witnessing it. So from that point on, as life moved on, my mother stayed with him for maybe 4 to 5 years, but to me, it felt like a lifetime. So that was the first experience, but then there were many after that. And I noticed my mother was always getting beat for everything that she did or did not do or said or did not say. She was always getting beat for that. And in the midst of that, as a child, I'm still shrinking. I'm afraid. I don't know what to do at this point, besides just cry for my mom. Just cry, 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 cry. So it got to a point where I started reaching out to other family members, sharing what was going on in the household. But instead of them protecting my mother like I thought they would, they ridiculed her for remaining there. And because they ridiculed her, my mother corrected me. And I was told, don't tell my business to nobody. What goes on in this house stays in this house. Don't tell anyone at school. Don't tell anyone, because social services will take you from me. There were so many reasons I could not speak. So I had to hide my voice. So not only did I shrink, I wasn't speaking the truth. So I was showing up at school, smiling. I was showing up at family functions, sometimes smiling, sometimes not. And as time went on, this is what I became: silent. Even though my name is The Voice, there's a reason for that. So I became silent through life. And not only did I become silent, I started displaying the fear and the suppression of those emotions was coming out in my behavior. So from high school, maybe junior high school to high school, I became violent. I started vandalizing things and bullying people and just being unruly. And I also want to mention that before high school, I was getting bullied because I wouldn't stick up for myself. I was getting bullied for just being myself. So I shrunk. But once I got into high school, and after becoming this bully, I found something that gave me a voice, and that's what was called hip hop, and still is called hip hop. And what hip hop was to me was my outlet. It was my savior, if you will. It is what gave emotion to those suppressed emotions. I was able to put it out there. So I did a lot of battle rapping. I did a lot of, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'm great, I'm all this, I'm all that, battle rapping. But what I learned is that going through these battle raps and attacking others verbally and physically, I was hiding behind that very gift and talent that God gave me. I was hiding. The way people saw me, I was this tight rapper, this radio personality, this person who could speak. And I was really that child behind the black curtain. I looked one way on the outside, but on the inside, I was still in the back seat of that car, afraid to speak my truth, not knowing if my mom was going to get upset with me or if people were going to judge me or judge my mom, whatever it is, I was afraid to speak it only through hip hop. So I used that hip hop, I used that microphone to get these messages across. However, in 2020, it was actually December 31st, New Year's Eve, I got an awakening and a call from God. And he told me I had to retire from hip hop, from entertainment, if you will. And I've been doing hip hop for over 40 years. It's the only thing that I knew. It was my identity. So I thought, so when I heard the voice tell me it's time to turn from that, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what to do from there. And so I sat with that for a while, trying to figure out, who am I? What do I do from here? What is my new identity? God began to slowly reveal that to me. He showed me that I'm a leader. And the reason I know I'm a leader is because I've gone through so much. And when I say I've gone through it, I mean just that. I've gone through it. And most leaders lead by example. You can take your very circumstance or situation, whether it's good or bad, and when you own it and you walk in that, there's a power that comes forth from you. And what it is to me, it's the glory of God that's within you. We are vessels, women and men, we are vessels to something that is higher than ourselves. And so when we deny that, we're denying that which is higher than ourselves. And to me, that's God. So God had to show me to die to myself, to die to that fear and that shyness. I used to carry that bad shyness around like it was something to be proud of. Oh, she's shy. Oh, I'm shy. I wasn't shy. I was afraid. So I died to myself December 31st, 2020. And I told God, just use me however you can use me. And I didn't know what that was going to look like. I didn't know I was going to become this leader that I am today. And what a leader looks like is someone who has to share the ups and the downs, the good and the bad. I don't just show up to show up. I show up because I am that which God says that I am. I am a leader. I am here to lead you to where God will have you go, to show you that you can do it, that with God, all things are possible. What is within you is greater than anything in the world, any obstacle, any person, anything that is hindering you. What is inside of you, which is within you, your authenticity is greater than anything outside of you. And the way you become this leader is you walk in that, no matter what. You walk in it. Excuse me. That means my time is up. Give me 1 second, please. So I do want to leave you with this. Going back and reflecting on my mother. She was a leader. And I say was because I lost my mother in 2015. She's no longer with me. And as a leader, I had to be that person who made the decision to unplug the ventilation system that she was on. That was a hard decision to make. But because I am a leader and the leader of my family, I made that decision. And what I've learned through everything I grew seeing, even though my mother would not leave that domestic violence situation, I still learned from it. And what I learned is no matter what, you don't let anybody silence you. You don't let anyone stop you from moving forward. You don't let anyone keep you from being you. Because as I said, my mother, every time she got struck, is because she said something that he didn't like. She did something that he didn't like or did not do what he wanted her to do. Every time she stepped out in her fullness, he tried to pull her down. And I watched my mother. I watched her fight back. She didn't just get hit. She grabbed weapons. She grabbed weapons. And when she grabbed her weapons, which were knives and whatever she could find, then he left her alone. So as a leader, I encourage you to find what is your weapon? How do you lead? What causes you to be that leader? My weapon is my voice. The voice. That's my weapon. So I encourage you, if you are a leader, if you think you're a leader, if you're not sure if you're a leader, tap inside of yourself. Ask God, what is your purpose? What are you designed for? And walk in that. Even if you're afraid, walk in it anyways. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Let's give some love to the voice. She is truly a voice. Let's type in the chat and give her some love. Thank you so much from Mona Lisa. Honestly, I was almost shedding tears as I heard you narrate that story. The truth is, a lot of us, especially for those of us that are leaders, one of your trademark is that you have to go through a lot of stuff in your life. Thank you, Ma, from Diamond to everyone. You need to, if you haven't gone through your turns of life, then you are not ready to lead. Because one of the characteristics of a leader is the fact that, thank you so much. I'm really learning a lot tonight. Thank you so much from Happiness, from Esther. So much love in the house. So,
Can I just say this real quick?
okay, yeah.
I forgot to give you my inspiration to you guys.
Oh.
As a leader knows the way, goes the way,
Definitely.
and shows the way.
Awesome. So for you to lead, you must know where you are going to. A leader knows the way. It's not enough for you to know. The knowing is not enough, right? You need to also do what? Show the way. Lead the way. You don't like, oh, start going. A leader leads and other does what? Follows. So the leader knows the way, leads the way, and equally does what? Is a pathfinder, shows the way to others. Thank you so much for that. So much love. We are really learning a lot. I am learning a lot. The whole, all of, in fact, you all are awesome, divinely chosen. Well, is the energy. The energy is the same. Thank you so much. Thank you. So right now, let me invite the next segment. We are going to be talking about the woman who rises. Is somebody learning this night? I don't need to ask. We have a lot of chats in the house, more than 100 reactions. Thank you. So, the next speaker, Cynthia. Is she in the house? Hello, Cynthia, are you here? I'm waiting for her to respond. Hello.
Fools like them, they suss me out and then they ghost.
Cynthia, let's give her some love.
I like a magnet to a
Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome, Cynthia. Welcome, Cynthia. Good to have you here.
Thank you
Welcome.
so much. Thank you so much. So I enjoy hearing what I heard coming on. I was just getting off of work and definitely can resonate, what everyone has been talking about. It hits home, whether through myself or family members. So just know that using your voice not only helps you, it helps others as well. If I can read an introduction out of one of my books about my story, I would start off with, it's hard enough to grow up in a world that's forever changing, but to also be faced with challenges of being born with a birth defect. My life has been a true journey. It's easy to hear and accept encouraging words from those who love you and those who inspire you. However, it is something unimaginable to live life with a disability. And it not only affects you, it affects everyone around you. The people I would meet throughout my life's journey, the negative and the positive ones. I like to think that I can compare it as being a genius or some superstar. I am always the spotlight moment when I enter a room. All eyes are always on me because people are trying to figure out this woman with no hands. What can she do? I'm admired for my courage and inspired those who need a lift up in their lives while puzzling others. Really, I am no different than anyone else. I'm just a woman trying to make it through the life I have been especially handpicked by God to live. I have gone through life's obstacles and challenges. Anything I wanted or needed to do for myself began with my mind. It was always a vision. So I strategically mastered every challenge that came my way. I've always looked at my disability as a blessing, having the best of both worlds. Others may have viewed it as a curse. Therefore, I always embrace the spotlight and be that superstar that God has created me to be. In Luke 12:43 states, "For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required." How I've applied that to my life, being born without hands, is my much given. Standing as a beacon to others who feel hopeless and helpless is my much required. God expects me to glorify him to others so that others can benefit and see that God doesn't make mistakes. I am held responsible for what I have. I've been blessed with many talents, accomplishments, knowledge, and most of all, courage. Trained by my family to serve others, they would focus on the current situation and often create action goals
Come
to help
closer
me
to your
move
mic.
forward.
Okay, your voice is a little bit away from the mic, so it was a little
Is it?
Oh, better. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me turn the volume up.
Okay.
Okay. So my family taught me how to knock down barriers that would come my way. My story isn't much different than others. I'm just living it without any hands. And so I do know that you can't change the cards that we're dealt, but we can change how we play our hand. It's more like when people, like the quote is, you get lemonades, people give you lemons, you make lemonade, put it that way. And so I was the youngest of 6, and I don't know whether y'all can see, born without hands. I've got my little jewelry on. And so in the youngest of 6, when I came home, my parents said that they weren't going to allow anybody to treat me any different than the next child. So, of course, I grew up learning how to do my chores, learning how to dress myself. Home was basically my first classroom. So when it was time for me to go to school, because I was taught at home how to do these things for myself, they picked teachers who weren't going to feel sorry for me. They didn't put me into any special classes. My mother said there's nothing wrong with her mentally. She just does things different, like we all do. So I went to school. At some point in my elementary time, they did think that it would be beneficial for me to get trained to wear hooks. And so I went for this training, and they taught me how to wear the hooks, but I had already knew how to do things with both arms. And so the hooks became a handicap for me. And my mother, we always say she was Jesus' sister, because she believed that God gives us what we need, and we don't need anything else. It's the people and others that think we need something else. And so when I came home one day crying, saying, "Mom, I don't want to wear the hooks because it makes me feel funny. The kids are already picking at me without having any hands, but now I'm looking like a robot with these hooks." And she said to me, "I'm not going to make you wear something that man made when you already got what God gave you. We're just going to continue training you the way you should go." And guys, I grew up in a household where we were, of course, humorous, and it was dysfunctional. I can relate to the voice, how, she watched mom with domestic violence, because my father, he was an alcoholic, and he put that in front of us as well. But my mother, her Christian journey, she was a missionary. She made sure that we knew God and we knew what our purpose would be. And so as I was going through the changes of in my community and outside playing, because I did everything else the kids did. My first fight was with my sister. And so when I got out in my community, I was just dusty as everybody else, because I knew how to handle myself. My first name call was from my sister, because she would always, you make me sick. That's why you ain't got no hands. And I would say, so you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back, And so I learned then that living my life, if I'm gonna live it and use my voice, I have to live my life through humor, because that's who I am. I'm very humorous about who I am. And so I do know that growing up in my community, the kids, I have a big family. So, everybody knew of the big family. So the kids would pick at me. And once they realized all the things that I was able to do, because remember, I'm being taught at home how to play sports. I was a Tom girl, so I was always out at the basketball court with my brothers and just being active, and then going to school and playing sports. So when the kids would pick at me, it didn't bother me, because what their opinion was of me, like the lady said in the beginning, it's none of my business. So once they found out that I'm able to play basketball, baseball, and football, and jump rope and ride a bike and all that, once they knew all of that, then they became my friends, because they didn't realize that I was being taught at home to know who I was. And when people ask me, who are you? I don't say, well, I've been trained to say that I be Cynthia. Not I am Cynthia, but I be Cynthia, because that's who I am. And so once I realized that I was being touched with the little bulliness, I became a bully, because I used to hate to see people get bullied. So during school time, middle school, high school, when people who was less fortunate and didn't have a voice, I became their voice. So when I would see something going on in the hallways, I would be like, no, you can't pick with me. Don't pick with them, pick with me, because I now knew my voice.
Power
and they
of
didn't have a
identity.
voice.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a voice. And I knew that this big family of mine wasn't nobody gonna mess with me. Nobody gonna mess with me, So they taught me how to handle myself physically and mentally, put it that way, because everything we do starts mentally. And so I always would like to think of that I have the best of both worlds, because being raised the way I was raised at home allowed me to live a normal life because of that. I was married for 13 years. I threw in the towel when I needed to. Had 2 grown kids, grandkids. I've been working since I was 13. When they even say now, you're still working, you're 61 years old. Yes, I am. When they put me in the ground, that's when I'll stop working, because I have goals and dreams, And so I think what happens in life is that, like you guys were saying earlier, we're so busy worrying about what other people are saying about who we are, when we really need to focus on accepting who we are. And when you accept who you truly are, you're going to gain the friends or the relationships that you need to have around you. One thing I was taught was my value. Never allow anybody to degrade me, and to respect my price tag, per se. And so that's one thing that I was taught, was my value, and the fact that God made me this way for the world to see that he doesn't make mistakes. also that it takes all kinds of people to make up God's world. And so in all of that, I win every day, just with the way that I was trained. And I always, when I wake up, I'm saying, well, God, you got something for me to do. Let me get dressed and get on to work, because you got something for me to do. So when God wakes us up, he has something for us to do. And it's supposed to be something to glorify him through what we have that he's given us. And so I understand that, you know, telling our stories, it's a blessing, because someone is suffering in silence when we've learned our voice. And when you've learned your voice, what you've gone through, you're supposed to be able to help someone else, even if it's just helping one person. Your story should be able to help someone else, because now you're going through. And I always try to encourage folks that every day that we're living, we're always going to be going through different storms of life, because God is trying to take us somewhere. So he's constantly spinning us, constantly. And I'm one of them sisters that I'm going to get out there in the rain. If it's storming, here I am, Lord. Never mind what other people say, but here I am, because I can see the light at the end of the rainbow. And I'm going through. I'm not going to stop right here, but I'm going to go through and get to the other side, because I know that if I can make it to the other side, I have won. And so I would like to say that those who are maybe suffering in silence, you know, you can't always go back and change the beginning, but you can start right now on what you need to be doing and making a change for yourself right now. Every day is basically a blank page for us when we wake up. You know, I'm an author and I like telling stories. And I look at it where, okay, tomorrow, I don't know what it's going to bring, but I'm going to write a good book tomorrow. You know, I'm going to tell a good story tomorrow, because we're all in this life and we're living it. And again, our story is supposed to bring someone else up along with what we've gone through. I was born a fighter. I know that when my mother asked the doctor, that she was hoping for 3 girls and 3 boys, and she asked the doctor, well, what did I have? They didn't tell her I was born without any hands. They told her I had fast feet. And so I know I was born a fighter because of the mentally and physical strength that I have gained through life and through my silence and finding my voice. So we must continue telling our stories so that others can heal through our stories. And if I can say anything else, my last thing is in my back of my book of Inner Hands. This is my autobiography. What you put in you becomes you. This is my motivational, inspirational book about my journey being born without any hands. I had to master the obstacles and challenges of life by using the tools taught to me at a very young age, bringing forth my faith, courage, determination, and knowledge about my life in order to help others change. I had to change myself through mentally and challenge my life physically through many obstacles and people throughout my journey. With God's strength, somehow I made it through. If I can say anything else, I can say, play the cards that you're dealt in life and never lose sight of your dreams. When my mother told me that if I could see it, then I can do it. And believe me, I saw a whole lot. And I pressed toward my dreams. I felt that if this is the way God made me, then it was for a reason. Looking back on when I was a little girl, a child born without any hands who didn't understand the lessons I would have to learn. Remembering my mother's words, I realized it takes all kinds of people to make up God's world, and never say you can't until you try. In my heart, those words still remain. I hope you guys are blessed, and I hope you guys get a chance to look at my book. I just started my children's book. My first book is Cindy Goes to School. And this is about just a little story about myself, and, you know, the children are pointing and picking and laughing, and how the outcome, and hopefully that it would help some child who's going to school and feeling bullied as well, and how to handle things. And then my other book that I have out is 1, 2, 3 with Cindy. It's more of an activity book, but God is directing me to do books on my life story, because I wanted to help others. And that's not all that he has in store for me. And so, again, accept who you are, use your voice, because if God has allowed you to survive a storm, he's allowing you to survive it for a reason. Y'all have a blessed one.
Let's
Thank you
touch
so
on
much.
love.
Quite
Thank you so much.
inspiring.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. This
Thank you
was so
very much. Very
beautiful and
inspiring.
inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I didn't tell us. There's few things I didn't tell you of this. There are two people that have inspired my life in a way. One of them is Cynthia. I remember the first time I met her, we are colleagues in Amazon, by the way. And normally, just like she said, the moment you see her, everybody will be looking to know how she's gonna do things. This lady here drives with those hands. She makes
nothing attached to the wheel. I said nothing attached to the wheel.
She's driving a small car. She's driving an SUV, big one. She makes her hair with her hands. I can assure you that all the jewelries you see on her neck and earrings, nobody helps her. She does what every other human being will do. She is one of the fastest typists you can think of. She types very fast. Yes. She writes with those hands. Every damn thing. So when you look at this, you ask yourself, just like she said, don't say you can't until you try. When you look at her story, you now ask yourself, you that have hands, what excuses do you have? As you can see her looking beautiful, she made her makeup by herself. Yes. Okay, they've not seen. She does her makeup by herself. Every damn thing, no help at all.
And I can say, if you allow me, I am, those of you who may be on TikTok, I am on TikTok. I have videos showing different things that I'm doing. And it's at that symbol at Inner Hands. That's how you'll find me on TikTok.
So thank you so much once again, Cynthia. Inner Hands. You see the name. Physically, you're not seeing the hands, but in her mind, she knows that, okay, it's been typed there at Inner Hands. Somebody just typed it in the house. Then, sorry, just a moment. Let me see. I want to share my screen again, because her book has QR code. You can scan it and you can get that on it. That is a very inspiring story too. You can use that to inspire your children and let them know that they can become. In fact, every day, the day she shared her story with me, the first thing I told her was, God bless your mother who never saw less in you. Because everything starts from the home. Mothers, please learn. Yes. Everything starts from the home. The mother was able to lead her through a mental journey, which takes us back to the first talk again. We will always go back to that first talk because that's the genesis of everything. Her identity, she accepted herself. She knows her identity. She was able to accept that this is me. I can tell you many in her position were like, oh God, why me? Why me, God? Why? Oh God. And you heard her, she said her mom told her, because God made you this way, she wanted you to be an inspiration to your generation. So whenever you are passing through certain things, like I said, we've heard diverse stories this night, different stories. Time wouldn't let us. You that is listening to us or that have been here since today have your own story. I don't know what your story looks like, but I believe from the first stories that have, from the first speakers, you have something to pick and put your name in it. So first of all, before I round up this session and take us through some sessions that we need to do to help us, I want to share my screen for her book so that please just, if you have your phone, you can snap the QR code. I don't know. Even though I might later still send that in a mail. So, it's been a long day. And of course, I don't know how many of you were taking down notes, but I was taking down notes that I'm going to add to what I want to share with us. This meeting came to be because we want to celebrate you as a woman, you as a feminine figure. Whether you are married or you're not married, as long as you are a lady, you are a feminine figure, and we are celebrating you. We are proud of you and the dreams in your heart. So the first segment, we talked about identity. And in summary, all I have to say is that a woman who knows who she is cannot be stopped. If you know who you are, you cannot be stopped. The society has labeled us so many things, weaker vessels, this, that. Let me share something. There's a topic I shared once. I shared with my church one time. I gave a talk, and I call it the Proverb 31 woman. You know, the day I went through Proverbs 31 and I read everything in that book, I told myself, wow, a woman is really a great person. And I asked myself, then what is the job of a man? If the woman is to do all of this, then why are we called weaker vessels? Because in Proverbs 31, the woman is technically the head, even though the man is physically the head. And that got me. That got me. She does this, she does that. After enumerating all the things she had, I'm like, well, then what's the work of the man? Then it led me into a deeper question. And I then asked myself, why do they say we are weaker vessels? Could it be that this man that is coining all of this in order to assume superiority? You know, it has been a word of trying to assume superiority over, you know. But something was dropped in my spirit that moment. And the word was this, that a woman is damn too powerful that if not controlled. So in order to tempt her a little, she was giving that label weaker vessel. She's a tsunami. She's a bomb. I don't even know the word to use. The woman is, I don't know the word to use. We are so powerful that if you understand your inner strength as a woman, honestly, I don't know the word to use. I said, wow, this is an eye-opener. For the first time, I received that ministration that women are actually the most powerful. And that is why even in the spirit realm, they will tell you this, if it's the feminine spirits are the most powerful. Yes, even in the spirit realm. Then when you come to certain traditions, the most important deity or whatever is always the feminine deity. Tell yourself there's something about the woman. There's something about me. There's something about me. Let me not digress. Let me continue. So, I need you to erase every label and replace them with just 3 words. Tell yourself, I am enough. You don't need validation from anybody, just like the first speaker said. And then she mentioned that a woman who knows her identity becomes aware of who she is, begins to have goals, begins to have dreams, begins to have clarity because she knows herself. Then she says, once you understand yourself, you are unique. You understand that you are a unique. I don't know the word. Okay, this one is for people that understand Igbo. There is somebody that, one of my fathers, I will always come say, you are an Ogbanje. I said, I am a confirmed proper Ogbanje. Ogbanje is a feminine marine spirit. So then I'll tell him, yes, you're right. I am a confirmed one. Because I do my things so different. At times, you can come in and see me. I love staying in darkness. I just off the light and I'm there. You think, oh, by the time, what, you are an Ogbanje. I said, accepted, no problems. So when you begin to realize yourself, the truth is that you see the uniqueness in you. You begin to do things differently. And to every other person around you, you are abnormal. You are not a normal human being. Of course, they are right. Every other normal human being does things the normal way every other person will do. But those that are superstar, they are abnormal in a way. So she talks about self-awareness. And then you'll also know how to manage stress. A woman who knows her identity knows how to manage her situations, manage stress, and so on. And then negative talks too. Oh, those ones will always be there. Look, let me tell you, if people are not talking about you, you are not living. You are not alive. If you want them to stop talking about you, you need to die. You don't belong to this universe. You need to die so they stop talking about you. Okay? Because as long as you are alive, people will talk about you. And it's inconsequential what they say about you. It's immaterial. It's not relevant. It's irrelevant. What they say, it's is of no use. It's none of your business. What matters is what is your heart telling you right inside of you is what matters, not the opinion of people. Because you know the truth, if you follow these people from now till tomorrow, they will keep criticizing you. You are a no good. You are a no good. So why would you live your life to please other people at the expense of your inner peace, at the expense of your inner joy, at the expense of your inner self-love? It doesn't worth it. So whatever happens, tell yourself, I am enough. And then tell yourself, I am unstoppable. For those of us that started with us, there was a music, I love playing that song. I play mostly motivational songs like that. I played that song at the beginning. It said, I'm unstoppable by Sia. I'm a pusher with no brakes. Say, I don't have brakes. I'm invincible. So tell yourself, I am powerful. I am unstoppable. I am enough. I don't need anybody. There is something I wrote on my mirror. I used my eye pencil to write it there. I wrote, I am enough. And some days when I come back and it's like everything is on my head, and just go to the mirror and what I'll see, I am enough. And I'll like, that's true. I am enough. Then another thing I wrote on my mirror, that's on my bathroom mirror. So anytime I goes in to take my bath or brush my teeth, I'll always see that hand. I wrote again, use my native name. I wrote, Uju, I love you. That's my name. So call yourself by yourself and tell yourself, Uju, call yourself Bridget, call yourself Esther, call yourself by your name and say, you are more than enough. I love you just the way you are. I do that all the time. I love you just the way you are. And once you understand that, you don't need validation from anybody. You are not just someone's daughter, someone's wife, or someone's employee. You are a force of nature. You have unique gifts and talents that the world needs. And it's time to embrace that truth. And then we dived into the segment 2, which was handled by Esther. And she talked about accepting whatever situation, whatever circumstances that life has thrown at you. The first point of healing is you accepting that this actually happened. Because your healing starts from your acceptance of the situation. You cannot heal from a situation you have not accepted. For you to heal and completely heal, you need to first of all accept that situation. After you have accepted the situation, the next thing is to speak up. Even if you're not talking to somebody, go to the mirror and speak out to the mirror and said, you are stronger than this. I do that all the time. I just go to them and say, look, that is one of my favorite quotes that I wrote. You are bigger than the image you see on the mirror. I say that to myself all the time. You are more than this. You can't let this situation, these are just side distractions. You are more than this. So learn to speak out. Look for somebody you can talk to. If you can't talk to somebody, talk to yourself. Have a meeting with yourself. Let me tell you, in fact, the best meeting you can have is the one. I do have meetings with myself all the time. Yes, alone meeting. And I begin to negotiate with my inner self. Ask questions I can't ask anybody. Then I seek for answers, and that is when I get my most revelations comes from my meeting with myself, me and my higher self. Call it your higher self, you and your higher self. The one you're seeing is your physical self. Then your spiritual self. You close your ears from all the noise that is happening around you. Then finally, I think she concluded by saying, don't lose. Okay, that was she concluded by mentioning the third point there and said, other people's opinion of you does not matter. Very important. Other people's opinion of you doesn't matter. The truth is that what has kept a lot of us down is because of what people will say. Especially we found ourselves in over-religious, over-righteous universe. That we are more than righteous than even God himself. And everybody expects you to be that perfect symbol, to be that perfect person, to be that perfect without a dent, says who? And then you live all your life in a fake life, trying to impress who? For what? Who are you trying to impress? So you need to know that you owe yourself a duty to rise up to your God's-given ability, and don't let no circumstances or situations or voices that are making noise. Have you heard about empty vessels makes the most noise? Yes. Because if a vessel is filled up, fill up a vessel, you hear dum dum. Dum dum. But hit an empty vessel, so noisy because it's empty. There's nothing in it. When you are loaded, you talk less. When you are loaded, you don't listen to outsiders. Every now and then you are busy strategizing, on what next. Me, I used to have plan A, B, C, D, F, A, B, C, D, E, F. When I'm working on plan A, it doesn't work. I switch over automatically to plan B. And as I'm working, I switch, oh God, I tell myself, I will never give up on you. The word give up does not exist in my dictionary. And the word impossible does not exist. If you can think it, if you can imagine it, then you can have it. Then we move on to leading. She narrated, our sister voice narrated her story. And how every woman is a leader, for heaven's sake. That is why you can lead in your home. If you are not a leader, you can't even be a mother. So don't count yourself out. You are a leader in any place you find yourself. So always ask yourself, anywhere, whether in the house, whether in the community, whether in your family, whether in your workplace, whether in your business meetings or whatever, any place you ask yourself, you find yourself and something happens, the next question on your mind should be, as a leader, how am I supposed to react to this thing? As a leader, what am I supposed to say? How am I supposed to say it? Because whatever you're saying, you also have to be mindful of people's emotions. You need to master emotions to know how to say. A lot of us can say the right words, but in the wrong way. And when you say the right words in the wrong way, you send the wrong meaning of what you had intended to say, and then you are misunderstood. So also having that wisdom to know what to say at every point in time. Always ask yourself, what would a good leader do or say in this particular situation? And then finally, we had Esther, who talked about, before I go to the last, she talked about that she was able to unplug herself from the things she witnessed as a growing child. You need to detach yourself from a lot of us, what has kept us down is certain past experiences. We dwell on it, we talk about it. Probably before I end, I'm going to share my own story with you. We dwell on it so much so that we are not able to see the beauty outside, because we are so clothed inside that pain, that regret, that unforgiveness, that we are not able to see the better side, the greener pasture over there. So she said she was able to unplug herself from the situation. That was one of the things. And then she said she was also able to learn that you don't need to let anyone silence your voice no matter what. Make sure you are heard. Don't let them silence you, because that is the shortest way to your grave. Let me tell you, if you want to die, just keep quiet, don't talk. And two things, you have mouth odor, because when you don't speak, air won't enter your mouth and you have mouth odor. And then secondly, that is a quiet road track to the grave. Because that very person that is making you not to talk or is threatening you not to talk, eventually we will make sure that he or she deals with you until you meet your 6 feet. Just like our sister's case that I mentioned earlier. So learn to talk. Don't let no church, no religion, no pastor, no leader, no prophet tell you no. What will people say? Oh, keep it to yourself. Oh, you are supposed to. There was a post a friend of mine did on Facebook, and I love that post. She talked something about very important, especially for those of us from the African region. She said something about that. She remembered her father of blessed memory. Her father was a bishop. She said there was a young lady in her church back then as a growing child that was a prophetess. Then one day, her mom sent she on an errand, and when she went out there, she saw this prophetess who always prophesied to people and tell them their problem and get solution. She was in a heavy-heated argument with somebody. And she as a child was so devastated because she has painted a big picture of this lady as, oh, is our prophetess. She's not supposed to talk. She's not supposed to do this. She's supposed to be holy, walking holy, 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 you know, that kind of stuff. Then when she got home, she told her dad, Dad, look at what happened. I saw this lady. She was quarreling with somebody. That's not supposed to be the prophetess in the church. And then she said the father told her one thing. That the father called her and said, will you condemn the message because of the messenger? Are you going to condemn the message because of the who? The messenger. And that caught me. Because we think that the church is perfect. The religion is perfect. The pastor is perfect. Everything about them is perfect. So they make you live this kind of fake life because you're trying to be perfect like the church, trying to be perfect like the pastor, trying to be perfect like whatever, whoever, I don't know. So she said that was a great lesson for her. And then she said, I'm talking.
Won't be able to be attending programs like this. So when I saw this, I said, I still need improvement because I'm just coming up with lots of visions on ground. So I am so happy to make out time for this gathering today, this meeting. And for the organizer of this Living Without Borders, may God honor you and increase you the more in the mighty name of Jesus. I don't know the exact thing to say, but what I want to say is that to be sincere with you, from the first speaker to the last speaker, even to the motivational speech by Inner Hands, it was wow. With Madam Esther, the boss lady herself, all of you did great messages was passed across. And I don't take this for granted. I pray God bless all of you and increase you more. In Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Very hot, I see you. Let's hear your voice. That's my friend. That's another powerful lady. The prof, let's hear you. You are muted. Unmute yourself. All right.
Hello,
We
can you hear me?
now. Yeah, good to have you.
Okay, good to have you too. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. I always call women wise, worthy women because we are loaded.
That's
We are
right.
bigger than what we think we are.
That's right.
So
Yes,
I
sis.
really appreciate you and also my fellow women. We are born to change the world and we are really changing the world. I like the emphasis on practice makes progress, not perfection, because we always aim to be perfect. From being perfect, we deprive ourselves from getting a lot of things. But once you start making it, gradually practicing it, you see that the progress will start growing. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to have you and also hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bridget Otie, we need to get better for us to be able to impact others. So I want to thank you because you saw this, you gave it, you did not only come on board, but you stayed till now. It means that you are somebody who is ready to take a leap, to jump to the next level. Many saw it, but this program was for you. Like I will always tell people each time I have a program, I'm not interested in the crowd. All I'm interested is just that one person that needs to be healed through that program, that need to receive the right word, that need to receive that push. Because I have been able to push myself because of attending programs like this, listening to other people, and you know that you are not alone on this journey. You are not. At times I cry when I look at things. I can't help but cry. So I'm also, I don't know why I keep repeating these words. If a place you are has rejected you, kind of, in quotes,
Leave.
Yeah. Borrow a leave from boss lady. I took her advice, even when she didn't know I was acting on her advice. And
I didn't know.
I'm telling her for the first time. I never told her. For a long time, we've not spoken.
I'm hearing it for the first time. Yeah.
We've not spoken with you. She told you, was it not your father that told you? For you to know that what I'm saying is, you told me that your father told you.
Yeah.
Your father told you. So, and when that happened too, I told myself, you know what? That's it. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Let me just play our music while we dance and oh shit. Okay, sorry. Let me see if I can get the music without having to even share my without having to, because I want to see the okay. Oh. Hey. You are unstoppable. So just listen and know that you are unstoppable. Thank you, everyone.